Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Coming out live from Chicago. Today we're going to be doing one of the most famous sugyas in Bava Metzia, Tagari Lud, one of the easiest, famous sugyas. But before that, we'll do a few emails. Learning the Daf with Reb Stefansky on the plane while on my way back from a Stefansky wedding in Chicago last week. Mishpacha. So first of all, I didn't know about this wedding. Mishpacha, yeah, they're Mishpacha. All Stefanskys are Mishpacha, I guess, if it was a Stefansky wedding. Which Stefansky was this? Kyle's from Chicago? Interesting. Mazel tov to the Stefansky Mishpacha. I know there was a Stefansky here, or at least the wife was a Stefansky. Okay. Gershon Dubin. I'm sure Reb Eli would be interested to hear that he was mechaven to Rav Hutner. I was shocked when I saw this. Poshet shocked. Originated the idea that a yeshiva is a zdoim bet nor men hacked up their cup. It's literally, I mean, word for word, what I said. I don't think I ever heard this from Rav Hutner. And when I saw this email, it's very interesting. It's disturbing because it's like as if I stole it from Rav. Maybe I heard it and just in my subconscious. Okay. Or it's so poshut that we just came back from my grandson's bris. His name is Yaakov Yeshua, and he listened to the Daf with me. Thought you'd enjoy. Glad you made it to Chicago. I have a chakoshet samech. Shalom Stavsky. I'm going to leave the volume off because of the feedback that we're getting. But here it is, Givaldic. Bring a kid into the world with some Torah. It says in Gemara, I forgot what it was. His mother used to bring the stroller into the Medrash. So there is, who is it? Shlomo Levi. I don't remember. Rebelli. Shalom. Here's Abi, you ready for a little question? Shalom Aleichem, part of the Shir's brachas, the Shar separation have made a tremendous difference to me. Thank you for all that you do. When we learned Psachim, you said that there are 5 krabanas that were brought on Erev Pesach. Korban Pesach, Chagiga, Oila Asriya, Shalmei Simcha. I don't remember the 5th one.
There's a second Chagiga.
Says Abi, there's a second Chagiga. You hear this?
Someone says, you don't remember anything?
Look at this. Chagiga Yudalet, Chagiga Zvav. Wow. Abi from Chicago. How old are you now? 14. It's unbelievable. No, you found it? Oh, how do you remember that, Abi?
Because that's whenever someone comes up to me and tries to stuff me. Hey, you remember that, Abi? You don't remember anything. That's my question.
So you asking that question?
Nobody gets it right. You get to have something.
What about the Rashiva? You asked the Rashiva?
No.
The Rashiva doesn't like when you do that, Abi. Okay. Well, you're having nachas. Abi's father is having nachas. No matter how busy you are, always do the daf. Shulam Overlander, dafing away after a busy day. The subject is, it's all about the daf. Mechi Overlander sent us. Geschmack, look at this fire pit. Mit the cigar, chilling and doing the daf. Oh, what does he have in his hand over there? Well, like some drink also. Givaldic. The sponsors, the Masechta is sponsored by Anonymous for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Paras HaChodesh Lineage, Zechurya Ben Moshe Lineage, Zechurya Bas Yosef, Paras HaChodesh Ahron Fraiman. It should be as zechus to rebel against the dishmaya and teaching Torah to Klal Yisroel. Paras HaChodesh Yosef Ben Chaya Sara for the zchusim that come from supporting HaTorah. Paras HaChodesh Binyomin Rosenfeld for hatzlacha business and all my endeavours. Paras HaYomi Edward Galster, in memory of my beloved mother-in-law Helen Weitzberg Chaya Hendel, as Yaakov Alev Shalom and Hashem should have an aliyah. Paras HaChodesh for the art, Anonymous for the zchus, for an easy childbirth for his daughter, and a healthy baby. Voice eyes, so we're learning the sugya of Oina. Oina is if you are selling something or purchasing something, and there's a difference in the price of a sixth which is basically 16.6%, let's call it 16% difference, whether you're the seller and you charge more, whether you're the buyer and you paid 16.6 less, you're over alayna, b'zayna. There are actually three categories. There's exactly enough, 16.6. There's more than enough, 16.7, 20%, 30%, 50% more. And there's less than 16.6, charging 5%. So we're gonna, in a few minutes, we're gonna get to the sugya of Tagore Lud, and basically we're gonna try to understand what's the halacha when you charge more or you charge less, etc. There's a few very interesting questions. There's a story. Shalom Aleichem Reb Simi. Mazel Tov in person, Mazel Tov. Reb Simi made a chasana, and at the chasana he put out the Kemaisa repairs time Levin. Got a lot of hack. People waiting for sugar. Oh, Reb Strulli was there. Yeah. Took a picture. I don't know if he was happy about that. Okay. So, interesting Maisa Shahaya. There's two suit stores next to each other. And one suit store charged a lot of money for the suits, and the other suit store sold the same suits. And a big sign, same suits as the friend over there, crazy discounted prices. So of course everybody went to that other store. It was the good quality suits, not made in China, the real deal. Turns out, what happened? Both stores were owned by the same individual. And in fact, the great deal on the suit from the second store wasn't a great deal. He overcharged at least 30% more. Is that enough? Does he have to return the money? Yes. That's a classic case of enough. There are other dishmaya stores, but this is a Maisa Shahaya. So that's a situation bisman azir of enough. So let's jump into this. Yesterday, we had a machlokes. Is this a shtus, the 16.6%? Is it market value, or is it the amount of money that you paid? So let's see for a second. Here's something I forgot to show yesterday. Sir, I told you the price is 60,000. Come on, buddy. I know you can give me this for 50,000. So that's enough. Well, depends. If he charged him 60 instead of 50. So if you charge 60 instead of 50, if it's worth 60 and the guy paid 50, who got ripped off? The seller. It's worth 60, he paid 50. Going from 60 to 50, that's a shtus in the value of the object. And here's the shtus in the money. If it was worth 50 and he paid 60, then the customer paid more. And that's a sixth in the money. From 5 to 6, from 50,000 to 60,000, let's see Rashi on top over here. Top Rashi. Shava sheish b'chamish, shtus mekach. Going from 6 to 5 is a sixth of the value in the market. Shava chamish b'shesh. But when you go from 5 to 6, that's a 16.6% of the money paid. Okay? It's dakistic, but it's there. Going from 5 to 6 is actually 20% in the value of the object, but only 16% in the money. Going from 6 to 5 is 16% in the value and 20% in the money. Shmuel's of the opinion both ways is enough. it doesn't matter if it's a sixth of the money or sixth of the value. And Rav says no, only a sixth of the value.
Is this the same thing as saying milagah versus milavar?
Not really.
I mean,
not
it's
really.
Kind of the same concept.
Right? It sounds like it, but it's slightly off.
Okay.
The answer is no. But I know exactly what you're saying. But he's asking if this is labar miligah. It really does sound like it, but slightly different. Says the Gemara, Tanya Kava say the Shmuel. Bring you raya exactly like Shmuel. The one that suffered the loss, whether it's the buyer or the seller, his hand, he has the upper hand. Goes from 5 to 6. That is 16% mois, right? 5 to 6. Let's look at the chart again. In the card, 5 to 6 is mois. That's Shita Shmuel. This is exactly Shmuel right here. Minas ana lekayach. The buyer, he was charged extra. So therefore, he has the upper hand. He could decide either give me the difference or give me all my money back. Well, it says exactly what Shmuel says. That even a case of charging 16%, 16.6% on the money, not on the mekach, you also get a return. Okay? That's not important to us, this case. This is already a case of 16% in the mekach, which Rab also agrees to. Minasano, who lost out over here? Moicher. Because instead of selling for 6, he sold for 5. He lost 16%. Yeah, Moicher, so the seller decides. Okay, so you can decide whatever you want. Bottom line is, you see, Shmuel's right in this case. We actually pass like Shmuel. That he knows both on the mekach and on the mois, whether there's a 16% difference in the market or 16% difference in the money that was given. In the Mishnah, now we're moving over to the sugya of Tagore Lud. Lud today, Lud, you know what Lud is? That's where the airport is. So you can think about the taxi drivers there. They're Tagore Lud. They're always upcharging. I myself got ripped off a number of times. The duty free maybe is a shtickle rip off. Okay, Tagore Lud. In the Mishnah, it says a case of a shtus. 16%, 16.6%. It's called enough. Now, the Mishnah says that he has a person to take it back. He has enough time to ask a professional, ask your relative. It's not that much time. A few minutes, let's call it an hour, whatever it takes. Then the Mishnah tells us about Tarfin. Tarfin says that you could go up to a third. You could upcharge a person up to a third or undercharge up to a third. Everybody's very happy with him. The Tagore Lud are very happy. And then they realize no, because Reb Tarfin gives them a much larger window to take it back. It's all day. So yes, on the one hand, you gain up to a third, but on the other hand, they can take it back and they're going to speak to people. It's not worth it. They decide it's not worth it. The Gemara now just wants to figure out what happens when it's less than a shtus. There's a mechila, a moichel, but when? Immediately? Or you have up until the purchaser could go ask professionals. That's the sugya. And on the flip side, the other way as well, when it's much more than a shtus, which is a different category here. Let's see if we have something here for that. Just different. This is another way to show the mekach namois. I just want to show that because I know it's confusing. If he paid $50,000 for the Tesla, but it's really worth $60,000, So he took from the seller a sixth of the value. But if it was worth 50,000 and he sold and he paid, it was worth 50 and he paid 60, so that difference is a sixth in the money. Okay. Let's see that. All right. This is just very, very simple. You have a shtus is exactly 16.6%. That's the purple. Less than that is a mechila. More than that, then the whole purchase is batal. Okay? Shtus in the middle, you give back the difference. If it's more, then it's batal. If it's less, then the guy's moichel. So, I'm just going to preface this by saying that if this sugi was learned in a yeshiva, this sugi would take many weeks, days, months. And I'm not claiming to understand the sugya. I'm explaining it. I'm dumbing it down as much as possible so that we get some basic stuff and we move on. It is Daf Yomi. And it's interesting. Some dapim should really take 3 days. Some dapim should take 5 hours. Some dapim should take 20 minutes. Rebbe Shapir said a daf a day, regardless of the amount of words, the type of sugya. So, that being said, we're going to go weiter. We're going to see what we can do here.
Next question.
Yeah.
Just in concept here with Noah, how did anyone make a profit? Like, if every sale is going to be judged on basically a 16% differential,
Yeah.
that 16% or more, it's either batal or you got to give it back. How did anyone make a living?
First of all, we saw Rabbi Yehuda. I don't know if you heard him. In case you didn't hear him, he's asking, how do you make a living? What they did in those days and what we do today, they lived differently then. Okay, so we saw that Rabbi Yehuda, when he sold his wine, he was trying to make, I don't remember how much percentage. It was like nothing.
It was not after.
It was like 2-3%. It was like, that's how he lived. They weren't chazerim like us. They weren't affluent.
Isn't
They
there
lived in
applicability to today?
Yeah. Zechariah. So real estate is good.
There's no
Nursing homes.
There's
There's no real estate. So you can make a lot of money. What?
It's over the going market rate. It's not
Right.
what you're paid for.
Exactly.
So you make
No, it's true. That's also a very good point. It's the market rate. So if the market rate is to make 50%, and you charge the extra 16.6 above the 50,
That's a new
now, yeah.
So it doesn't apply by any
You're allowed to charge, there's a certain market. What is the market? The market doesn't care. You as a wholesaler, you're allowed to make your retailer, whatever you are, but don't overcharge the 16%. People that sell suits, they're allowed to make money, but he charged 20% more than everybody else with his fake store next door. All right. So, Iboilahu, Hachis Mishtus L'Rabbanan.
Does it apply to service too? Like servicing a person, with this only?
Yeah, I don't know. Mecca, I don't know.
Servicing tangible. What's the market for this particular service? Every person who does a service does it differently.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about service. All right, so Iboilu. Hachis Mishtus L'Rabbanan. When we're going less than Oina, which should be a mechila, according to Rabbanon, la'al ta'av mechila b'chdei she'yir l'tagwa l'kreva. How quickly is this mechila applicable? Does it happen immediately? When you leave the store and the guy ripped you off by 15%, not 16%, you might kill him right away? Or you still have that ability to go ask your relatives, blah, 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 and then you come back to the store and say, listen, I want my money back. Could you do that? It's interesting. Stop mahara. What happens if let's say you even have a whole day according to retirement? You have an hour, you have 2 hours. 3 days go by, you lost your chance to get your money back. Now you go to your relative. You ask your relative, he's a mumcha, he works. He himself sells suits. You say, no, Good deal or not a good deal? What's the relative supposed to tell you? It's already too late. You can't get your money back. So now what is he supposed to tell you?
Tell him get a good deal. Let's give out.
Why?
Because he can't do anything about it. Doesn't make him feel terrible.
That's right. That's not what the Chofetz Chaim says. It's too late now. It's too late. It's too late. Now, I don't know, in terms of saving him from buying again or whatever. Okay, fine. So, it's true. That's what the Gemara says. You gotta tell him it's good. Otherwise, the buyer will feel bad. You can't do anything about it anyway. Tell him, great, it's unbelievable suit, it's mamish quality, the whole thing.
That's the emes. That's what Hashem wants him to do. That's the emes.
Hashem wants you to be mishabeach.
The guy can't do anything about anything. So what are you going to do? Your choices are make him feel terrible or not. So
Right.
the customer doesn't want you to make him feel terrible. So
Make him feel good. That becomes the new MS, you say. Okay. Now, just in case you don't understand the question, tell me, well, obviously, if it's not a mechila right away, and he has a lot of time, he has 2 hours to come back to the store and get his 15% back, then you're going to ask him, if it's 16.6%, you have 1 hour to take it back. If it's 5% more than the market, you have 1 hour to take it back. So then what's the difference between 16% and 5%? In all situations, you have that exact amount of time to go ask your relative and come back to the store and get a refund. So I'll tell you, there is a big difference. There is a difference. Because if it's exactly 16.6%, you that got overcharged, you have the upper hand, meaning if he wants, he could just get a full refund. If he wants, he could get the difference, the 16% difference. But if it's less than 16%, what we're talking about now, let's say 5%, he got overcharged by 5%. No. He can't void the whole purchase. He could just go to the store and demand the refund on the 5%. Okay. The bottom line is, I want to know, does he have that 1 hour window or not? My Toshma. So let's repeat the story. What happened over there? And this is very important to the whole sugya. That's why it's called Tagari Lud. The Mishnah tells us that I know is 16%. Reb Darvin says, no, it's 32%, whatever it is. It's a shlish. It's 30%, okay? Well, 30%. It's a shlish. 33%. 33, whatever. Just, I want the punish. Okay. 33%. I like round numbers. 33%. So, of course, all the sellers were very excited. Now they can make a ton of money. They can rip people off up to 30% more than the market. Gewaldig. And then when they found out, the retirement says it's a whole day, you can take it back a whole day. They said, no, let's go back. It's better for us to have something solid. We'll take people for a ride for 16%, but they can't take it back. They have a very small window. They could just ask the relatives, let's call it 1 hour. Versus if they have a whole day, then we won't make any money. We'll be chazer. We'll try to get 33% more, and then people are gonna tell them in seconds, hey, you overpaid for the car. Zoop, run right back to the dealership and get all your money back. It's not kedai. Okay. So from that, from the idea that in the beginning they were excited and then they took it back, we can bring a ride. What's the ride? Toshma. So in the beginning, there was no difference between Rabbanan and Reb Tarfon in terms of, it was just the number, 16% to 33%. But the halachas remain the same. If over here I have to return the I return the at 33%. If the whole mekach is bottled, the mekach is bottled. Whatever the halachas are, by 16%, that's the same. It's just Reb Tarfon extended it and he said, no, you could go all the way to 33%. If the mechila doesn't happen instantaneously, but you do have some sort of window there. You have an hour to show it to your friends and to get their opinion about it. Well, Reb Tarfon, and according to Reb Tarfon, you have the entire day. Okay, great. Makes a lot of sense. Why? Suddenly, when they realize in life, it's almost everything in life is like that. You think this is better, then you find out, but yeah, it's better, but you also there's a con. The pro has a con, right? I don't know about everything. I know about airplanes. That's how it works with airplanes. Any plane that can fly faster, it just means it eats a little more fuel and it costs more, and it could hold less people. It was always a trade-off. You can never get the perfect plane ever. If it goes slow, then it costs less, and if it goes fast, it costs more. And if it goes this, and it's larger. If you could schlep your whole family, then it goes slower, and everything. In life, also, I think it's like that. Almost in everything, you pay what you get what you pay for, and so I'm all excited because now, according to Reb Tarfon, I could charge people 33% versus 16% more. But guess what? It comes with a little bit of there's a little asterisk on the bottom. It says, well, the person could ask his family for a whole day. He could make a lot of phone calls. He could go to a lot of dealers. And then at the end of the day, you know what? It comes out that it's not so gishmak. So, if that's the pshat, according to Chachamim, you only have 1 hour. According to Reb Tarfon, you can take it back and get a refund the entire day. That's why Tagari Lud didn't like this Reb Tarfon. They went back to Chachamim. They said, you give me more honey, but also it comes with a sting. I don't want it. But according, if you say that less than 16%, according to Rabbanon, we're trying to prove this point. The mechila happens right away, or it happens an hour later. According to maybe, if you say that according to Rabbanon, it happens immediately. Reb Tarfon to have a mechila, and according to Reb Tarfon, it happens immediately. Am I chazru? Then what was bad with sticking with Reb Tarfon? You just gained by going with Reb Tarfon. There's no con with Reb Tarfon. Am I chazru? But the Reb Tarfon nichalu say they should stick with Reb Tarfon. They could upcharge people 33%. Why would they want to go back to Rabbanon that could only upcharge 16%? The mighty Rabbanon komashvulu eno. The Reb Tarfon have a mechila. According from the 16% all the way to 33%, according to Reb Tarfon. The Maider Rabbanon Komaskulo, the Reb Tarfon HaMechila. The part, the up to 16%, according to Reb Tarfon, Yemaichel. So they have nothing to lose by going with Reb Tarfon. Okay. Sponsors. Kidnovations. In honor of my Uncle Reb Elchanan Pressman and as zchusim for Akiva Simcha Ben Feiga. My official mitzvah motivators in honor of the limud for sponsoring Torah for the daily Talmud learning. The Gwersman brothers, for your sides of our grandfathers, Chaver Moshe Ben Yerachmiel Shalom, and Rabbi Moshe Ben Reb Shema Zatzal. You see this word Shema. So another very interesting story before we jump into the terrace of the Gemara over here. There was a mechanic. He had a great trick. The first time you bring the car to him, he never charged. Never charged. He's an honest guy. Second time you bring it to him, he undercharged. He'd always undercharge. So fix your transmission. All the mechanics take $1,000. He takes $500. Now he locked you in. Now you saw. Listen, the guy's honest. First time he said, "Listen, I can't charge you. It's nothing for him. You know what? I worked on it 2 hours. I'm giving it to you for free." Second time, you did your research. $500. The third time,
no research.
There's no research. Ding ding. Alternator, $700 instead of $200. So a guy caught onto the trick. He goes back there and he says, listen, what's going on here? You overcharged me. So what's the halacha? So for the overcharge, we said, so no, he has to pay back. You give back the whole thing, whatever it is. So the guy says, yeah, but you know what? Now I want to charge you for the transmission, regular price. That's already big chutzpah. So they passed in that, no, you don't have to pay for that. But here's another shayla. In that question, the question continues, could you tell your friends, I have a great idea, go to this mechanic twice, third time, stay away. Are you allowed to tell people to do that? No, what do you say? Zechariah, yeah. What?
You can play his own game.
Yeah, play his own game.
They still have Bechira.
All right. Zog the Gemara. Okay, so just to look what's going on over here, I think this makes it very, very simple. And I always say this, that even if you don't understand the word that's going on here, but you saw the chart move, and that part you understood. It went from green to, I get the chart. We're looking at the left column here, and we're saying that according to Rebbe Tarfon, this mechila all the way through the shtus part, 16%, according to Rebbe Tarfon, would be a mechila. So he says, Gemara, no, look what happens. Let's just look at the chart. He says, no, I didn't say that. I said that according to Rebbe Tarfon, it's not going to be a mechila. He's not moichel. It's not that he can't go back. It's oinah. 16% is oinah. Less than 16% is mechila. But that whole range, it's not pshat that there's mechila all the way till 16%. And Reb Tarfon is just saying that from 16.6% to 33%, that's where the oinah is? No. The entire thing is oinah. So then what is the difference between Rabbanan and Reb Tarfon? Look, one is purple, one is red. What's the real difference? Oh, the real difference is who could take it back, who could retract. If it's a real bitul mekach, then both parties can retract. Let's see. Says the Gemara like this. Mi savers pogsim shlisler Reb Tarfon pogsim shlisler Rabbanan dami. You think that less than a third of Reb Tarfon is like less than a 16th of Rabbanan? In other words, this is a mechila? Loi. Mishtus v'ashlish Reb Tarfon kishtus atzma l'Rabbanan dami. The Gemara again. The Gemara says, you think that there's a mechila according to Reb Tarfon all the way till 16.6%? No. It's going to have the same halacha like Rabbanan say when it's exactly 16.6%, which is boom, I know. Okay. So, so where's the machlokes? Machlokes is going to be from 16% until 33%. According to Rabbanan, that's a bitul mekach. Both parties could absolve and walk away. And according to Reb Tarfon, only the purchaser could walk away. If there's no difference between, look at this, there's almost no difference between Reb Tarfon and Chachamim, so why were they so happy? Tifshait, so over here you could right? One is red, one is purple, but it's basically the same thing. It's oinah, bitul mekach. So can't you, from here, resolve our question? Now what? The bitul mekach l'Rabbanan la'olam chayzer. From here you see, what's the difference? Why were they so happy? They were so happy, the Tagari was so happy because according to Rabbanan, you could take it back forever and ever. Look at this Mordecai picture. I like this picture that he did. Hold on. Let me get the picture and I'll show it to you. I thought it's Givaldic. He's a kisher, this guy, Yosef. Oh, I love it. He's bringing back his Commodore 64 in 2024. He's like, you overcharged me 16.6% or 17%. And I can take it back. Loyal. Here I am. I'm here. I want my money back. So that's a big problem. And Reb Tarfon says, no, you don't get loyal. You can't come back 40 years later. Maybe Costco. Flowers. I've seen in Costco people bring back rotten fruit. They do it. They take it back. It's part of the thing. They know it's okay.
A small percent.
Of crazy people that do it. Yeah, and they take the loss. What was it? There's something over there. Okay, so Tifshay, the Bittul Mekach L'Rabban L'Olam Chayzer, the Kibin, and according to Reb Tarfon, Rabban say L'Olam, and according to Reb Tarfon, there's going to be a small window. The Kibin, Reb Tarfon, Havina Samcho. Because Reb Tarfon said that from 16.6%, in other words, from Shlos to Shlish, from 16% to 33% is Oina Samcho. Why? Because Reb Tarfon said the window is very small, so you can lock in your gneva. You can rip people off, and don't worry about it. They have a very small window. But once he told them no, they have a whole day. The window's not so small. Chazu. Because if you think that according to Rabbanan, you do have time to show it to your relatives, but my samchu. According to both Rabbanan and Reb Tarfon, there's a window. There's a small window. So where is the simcha? Says Gemara, tell you where samchu b'shtus atzma. When the upcharge was exactly 16.6%, that's where the simcha was. Why? The Reb Tarfon mechila, just like less than 16.6%. There's a mechila, Yemoichel. The buyer says, forget it, okay. So too, exactly 16%, 16.6% is shtos. Well, the Rabbanan, there's no mechila. Stam a joke has to do with this. Politician comes up to heaven. They say, we'll let you choose, Gan Eden or Gehenna. So he shows him Gehenna. It's like golf courses, stores everywhere, shopping, malls, hotels, beautiful residences. Unbelievable. Then he takes him for a tour in Gan Eden. He sees the Bismarck people all learning, steiging, stenders, the whole thing. So the politician says, I want Gehenna. Gehenna, fine. Bring it to Gehenna. He's there for like a minute. And then the Yisrael says, okay, turn on the flames, let's go. So he says, what's going on? I thought you said things changed. It's modern world. Gehenna is, he said, that was yesterday when there was a campaign. But since you voted for Gehenna, that's it. Now you're locked in. You're done. Iboilu. Bidul mekach. Now we're doing the same sugya kind of, but on the other thing. Remember, we had, I have to go back here a little bit. This simple chart. We have here, is 16.6%, that's in the middle. You have to get back to We discussed mechila. If you're moichel, could you go? And at the end of the day, we hold that by mechila, the mechila happens right away. It doesn't happen after that. But what about if you charge more than 16.6%? Bitul mekach l'rabbanon lo ilum chayzer. The fact when you charge more than 16.6%, more than a shtus, according to Rabbanon, you could bring back the Commodore 64 55 years later. Lo ilum chayzer. You only have a very limited amount of time. An hour, let's call it. 5-10 minutes an hour. And if you're going to ask me, mamish, like the same story we had before. If you're going to ask me, then what's the difference? If you only have a small window, then what would be the difference if a person charged exactly 16.6% or if the person charged 20% more? Both of them have a very small window or a window to show to your relatives, to the pros. So there's no difference really. I'll tell you there is a difference. The shtus mission is when it's exactly 16.6%, the shtus, the individual, whether it's the buyer, the seller, he has the right to take it back. And if it's more, both are able to take it back. Tashma. So in the beginning, so we're talking about Tagari Lod. In the beginning, they loved Reb Tarfon. Reb Tarfon came up and said, listen, I'm going to extend the amount of money you could take from people instead of 16.6%, it's 33%. But they loved Reb Tarfon when it was a case of exactly 16%. Why? Because according to Reb Tarfon, the mechila happened immediately. So they locked in their profit. And according to Chachamim, no. But then when Reb Tarfon told them you have a full day, then they didn't like him anymore. So give us Chachamim. Now, if the pshat is according to Rabbanan, you have enough time to show it to your relative. Now it makes sense. They like Reb Tarfon, but then they realize Reb Tarfon is not that good for them. You have more time to take it back. But if the pshat is according to Rabbanan, you can take it back forever. Reb Tarfon is better. According to Chachamim, you can take it back forever. Let's stick with Reb Tarfon. Not only could you go up to 33%, but you have less time to take it back. It's one day according to Reb Tarfon. According to the Chachamim, it's a lifetime. Says Gemara, Bitul Mekach Lo Shchiach. People don't usually charge. The reason why, you're right. In a case of Bitul Mekach, in a case of charging more, it's better off to go with Reb Tarfon. But at the end of the day, how often you as a seller are going to rip people off more than 16.6%? It's very rare. So for that rarity, they didn't take that into consideration. They don't care. Oh, in the rare case, Reb Tarfon is better than Chacham because Chacham is la'olam, and according to Reb Tarfon, you only have one day. But if that happens, it happens. But they're doing regular business. Regular business is 16.6% and less, not more. What? 44 minutes. Okay, we're almost done here. That's it. We finished the difficult part. At least we smeared it. We went through it as I. Here's an interesting Shilas Tamazon. What about a hotel? I think these are questions that everybody knows, but it's kedai to. You go into a hotel lobby and they charge you $10 for a cup of Coke, which comes out of the fountain, costs them 22 cents, maybe, with the glass, the whole thing. Is that how you know?
No.
That's the market.
Oh, so first of all, answer number one, that's the market in hotels. But another shot would be, no, because you're paying for the whole atmosphere in the hotel. It's not
The kosher wine market, that just keeps on going up, $20, $30 a bottle.
But that's what he's saying. That's the market. That is the
Who
market.
decides the market? That's the question. Who decides the market?
That's why they're.
When they started, it was $30. Every year goes up $5.
There's no market.
And by the time you look around, well, I just saw this $30 and 65. It became already a black label.
What about
Supply and
matzah?
demand, no?
Matzah is $70 a pound. I'm saying
Like, who decides the market value?
I don't know, but if that, I'm not ripping you. I personally am not. I'm Jewel. I'm not ripping you off because every store in the world is selling for $65.
The question is the supplier,
The guy that has the monopoly.
without names.
But okay, I hear it. I just want to tell you something very interesting. You know, you go to Eretz Yisrael, you go into a regular hotel lobby, you see like 5 couples sitting around. You start charging now $70 a couple, 250 shekel, something like that, $67
For the dating?
just to sit there.
Wow.
Used to be free, so everybody.
Hilton doesn't know this.
Wow.
The Hilton doesn't.
Where? The other one?
Here.
Waldorf.
Oh, here. I don't know which ones. That's what I heard. All right, Rabbi said we're almost done. Literally 2 minutes. Very, very simple. This is what we're passing today. Omar Rabbi Hilchasa. The halacha is pokas mishtus nikna mekach. We have 3 options, right? We have exactly 16.6%. We have a little less and a little more. Okay. So pokas mishtus nikna mekach. The sale is valid. That's it. There's a mechila. If it's in the red, bitul mekach, then the sale goes 5. Shtos, if it's exactly the 16.6%, chana, it's valid. Umachzor ino, has to return the difference. You have enough. In all the cases, you have enough time to go show your friend and your relative. Tiny can say the Rava and have proof to this. I know pochas mishtos nikna mekach, less than a shtos, the sale is valid. You also have shtos bota mekach, more than a shtos is bota. Shtos, it's exactly 16.6% kana or machzor. Divi Rebbe also. Review that I'll see Omer Yad Moichin al Yoina. The seller, he's in control. Either give me back my product that I sold you because you ripped me off, or give me the difference of money. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.